The Open Wheel Offline League, after 8 months, has finally returned, and we are here at Texas Motor Speedway for the first race in this 20 race season. We have 24 cars, 10 teams about to take the field, and let's go through how they qualified. Now, as a reminder, how they qualified is not exactly where they will start, but let's go through the field really quickly. So, starting 23rd, but actually qualified in last, we are going to take a look at Mahavir Raghunathan. Slowest car to qualify, going to be at the back of the field. His teammate Ethan Martz not much faster. He'll be starting actually last, and they'll be at the very back of the field. Also, just around them, you also have, all the way back in 22nd, Lindsey Brewer, and then you have Brendan Hubbard right alongside. Then it's Miles Rowe back in 20th, and then Chet Jordan. And again, as you can tell by where they are in the field, not exactly how they're starting, but that's how, well, not exactly how they qualified, but they should have skill adjusted to match their qualifying pace. Gail Barnhart, 18th. Then we have the double zero of Glover Lore in 17th. Callum Ilott qualified 16th in that nationwide car. And then 15th was Stingray Robb. 14th is the 27 of Yuki Tsunoda. And then 13th is Robbie Lore. Where is he? He's over here. And then now onto the top half of the field. In 12th, Jacob Abel in that 75 machine. And then right alongside, both actually in their correct spots, Catherine Legg in 11th, going to be right next to him. 10th will be Alessio Deletta, and that is actually where he's starting as well. 9th, also correct, Guy Gagne. And then 8th is Benjamin Peterson. 7th is Marcus Armstrong having a good solid outing uh, for his debut for Silly Men Racing. 6th was Louis Foster, slowest of his teammates, but still an impressive performance from Swindlers of the Immortals. And then 5th is David Malukas, who actually is going to start on the front row on the outside. You have to see what he can do. 4th, your fastest rookie, Connor Zilic, got a little screwed over with qualifying order. Well, how they're starting, he's going to actually start back in 8th. 3rd, Dorian Pin in the correct spot, going to be starting P3. Shane Van Gisbergen, Season 1 champion, going to be back in 5th, but qualified 2nd. And then got his 6th ever pole and will be starting out front, Ryan Preece. So good performance from that team. We'll show you the actual correct starting grid. Roll through the field. That is where they are going to start. So Texas, it's going to be a fast race, might be a little bit chaotic, and it's going to go into the night. Right now the sun is setting. Let's take a look at your weather. You'll see it off to the right. This race is set in March 8th. It's 6 p.m., 4-mile-per-hour wind speeds, 74 degrees, track temp of 74, and it's just going to get colder, and they're going to get closer and closer to each other. And it's going to be a very good race. So you guys got to anticipate potential cautions. I'd say it's likely. I think turn 2 is going to be quite treacherous. You look at that track map. Yeah, and it looks the same across, but turn 1 and 2 are not the same as 3 and 4. Turn 1 very wide, but you have to check up a lot in order to make turn 2 the exit work, because it tightens up significantly as cars are about to roll off, and the sun peeking through, no longer obscured by the clouds. And Ryan Preece, this is his 6th pole, but he's only converted 2 wins. Gonna want a big day today to start off the season strong, even though It may seem like you're not going to have your championship stories developed with only one race. Trust me, it's going to be ever important. Race 1 versus race 20, every point matters just the same. You can see into turn 1, and then on the exit of 2, how much it tightens up. Gotta be aware of that, and I think that could be a trouble spot as well. I think you're gonna have to pay attention to the dog leg on the front stretch. Gonna have a lot of cars going in many different places. And this is why you want to be at the front. You don't want to be buried back in the field, even though it's not difficult to climb your way to the front. You do not want to be stuck back in 18th when a big crash happens. First race of the new season. It's been a pretty long off season. New car, they're going to be going fast. As the pace car pulls off, I hope you guys enjoy, as Ryan Preece will bring us to the green. Dorian Pin already slots into second. Cars flying down the backstretch. As Ryan Preece gets away just a little bit. Shane Van Gisbergen already thinking about taking it 3 wide, very close to his teammate. Already aggressive. Dorian Pin now looking at the lead already. Lap 2. Dorian Pin on the inside. Ryan Preece going to cover it off. Is still going to hold on and lead. Even leading a lap is a bonus point. They're all close together. You can see the track map, the field a little bit spread out. But you can still see some cars racing right on top of each other. Louis Foster, Dorian Pin, teammates lined up. Shane Van Gisbergen, their other teammate, on the high side. Oh, Van Gisbergen gets hung out to dry just a little bit, as Benjamin Peterson, try and look into the inside, has to check up a lot in turn 1 and 2. So far, first 4 laps clean and green. As Connor Zilich moves up to third, he's on a run up 4 spots. But Benjamin Peterson, your biggest mover, 4 spots since the start of the race. And you've kind of got a little bit of a gap brewing as 4 wide. Marcus Armstrong right in the middle of this. This may end badly. And it does. We have a car on its side. Dorian Pin and Connor Zilich gets launched up into the air. And we have a couple more cars tumbling with nowhere to go. Louis Foster, and that's going to be an early crash, taking out a lot of cars. That is significant damage. Connor Zilich caught some serious airtime, as David Malukas, I think, will be your leader. See if we can figure out what happened here. Yeah, 4 wide, not going to work. You can see Ryan Preece all the way on the outside. He gave up the lead just for a second, and this is what happens. Yeah, Marcus Armstrong all the way up. He's going to move down to try to get out of the way, but he pinched Louis Foster into pole sitter Ryan Preece. And everyone's praying, please don't come back up into me. And Connor Zilich is the driver that gets absolutely murdered and will land just in front of Shane Van Gisbergen. I don't know how much damage he got. Lindsey Brewer, as Louis Foster spins around, Lindsey Brewer and Mahavir Raghunathan take flight. Ethan Martz, nowhere to go, will just plow into him. Glubler has a car land on top of him, and that's exactly why you did not want to qualify in the back. Stingray Rob also gets damage. Let's see what... Yeah. And who is that? Callum Ilott. A bad debut for 18 aggressive Bs. Go on board with Connor Zilich to see what he saw. Yeah, just nowhere to go. Louis Foster right in front of him. Then Lindsey Brewer, that is a. Let's see exactly what she saw. Did she have time to react, or was it just something that happened? So you can see Zilich flying, and then right in front of her. That actually wasn't as high speed as I thought, but still cartwheeling over her teammate Alessio Deletta. As we already just got a lot of cars knocked out of this. 13 survived, relatively. Shane Van Gisbergen survived. And again, as I said, you have to protect the car. We are going to have a double file restart for the first 3 yellow flags that happens. We're going to see if some of those cars can rejoin, but it looks like some of them are probably done. Some it's showing time data, but it does not appear that they're actually still alive. Stingray Rob, Callum Ilott, Connor Zilich, Glubler Lore, Louis Foster, and Ethan Martz in trouble as Mahavir Raghunathan is actually going to rejoin. So he's going to be the first one of those that were in the middle of the poopy duty to get back out. A couple cars back in pit lane, Glubler and Ethan, they're going to try to repair the car and go back out. David Malukas got the lead right before the yellow flag came out on the inside. Ethan Mart's going to be back out. He'll be 2 laps down. Raghunathan 1 lap down. Don't know if he's going to catch up to the field on time. You can see him moving down the backstretch. But we got a lot of time left, guys. Calm down. Find your groove. David Malukas going to bring us back to green as the 00 just got released. These guys got to hope that they can get by him soon so he does not become a problem. But he's going to be right there as Masters of Motors now 1-2 with David Malukas and Catherine Legg leading. Marcus Armstrong, he kind of was the proponent of the melee that, oh, that got close. Be careful of the lap cars as Catherine Legg's going to get stuck behind. And they're going to bottleneck behind him. 3 wide, be careful. Marcus Armstrong now chasing down David Malukas. Catherine Legg got by, still P3, Dorian Pin. Gonna try going to the inside and pushing her up the track. With less cars, it's gonna get cleaner naturally, so maybe we just had to weed out a couple of them to get some clean green flag racing. David Malukas getting chased down by Marcus Armstrong, with Dorian Pin falling as they're now on him. Hugging the inside, gonna be in that dirty air. Now you see Robbie trying to move to the inside for P4. As they check up, Marcus Armstrong had to back out of it as Dorian Pin will now take the lead for Swindlers of the Immortals. Swindlers of the Immortals coming off a driver's championship but have not won a team's championship. But right now, not looking too bad right now. As essentially the top 8, I believe, have kind of broken away. Brendan Hubbard and Guy Gagne trying to catch up, but they're a little bit back. Shane Van Gisbergen in that back group hoping to just survive right now. 3 wide, Dorian Pin all the way up top with David Malukas leading, Yuki Tsunoda in second. Maybe we're starting to get some laps in, and these guys are minding their P's and Q's. I think you can take it 2 wide. I think you could probably take it 3 wide, but 4 wide was not the call as Yuki Tsunoda. A little wobbly and not going to be able to hold that outside line as Catherine Legg to the inside of her teammate. possibly trying to help him on fuel a bit by taking the lead. It's really that first car that's going to burn up a lot of their fuel. So maybe a teammate helping a teammate. Ryan Priest going to go back out. So his day not done, but he is all the way down in 17th after a pole position. At least he got a couple bonus points for leading laps and getting that pole position. David Malukas now leading Catherine Legg. Catherine Legg going to cross over to the inside. Benjamin Peterson going to follow her through. Believe it or not, we're coming up on a fifth of the way through this race. You can see how much speed the outside line carries, and Benjamin Peterson going to easily go to the race lead. 13 cars remain on the lead lap. A lot just got weeded out. 20 cars still in this race. Stingray Robb, Callum Ilott, Connor Zilich, and Louis Foster do appear to be out, with Mahavir Raghunathan, Ethan March, Glover Lord, Ryan Priest, and Lindsey Brewer laps down. Alessio Deletta and Chet Jordan still trying to get some repairs done. As here comes David Malukas on the outside. Masters of Motors looking very strong so far. Two rookies, but they appear to have some speed in it. No wins for Masters of Motors last season. Their last win comes at Dover in Season 2. As here comes Robbie. Robbie to the lead. Ryan Priest's teammate. He hasn't led many laps in his career. He's been around since Season 2. No wins. Neither does his brother, Globler, have any wins. But to the line right there, Catherine Legg gonna lead that lap. Oh, and there's a lap car right in the way. Lindsey Brewer gonna hold that inside line up, and Dorian Pinn gonna get to the lead, and both Masters of Motors cars are gonna get away from this. Top four have kind of gotten away. Ethan Mart's in this as well, trying to get his lap back by battling these guys. Robbie went from the lead all the way down to 9th. Still stuck behind the 47. Shane Van Gisbergen now going to try to catch up, as David Malukas now back to the race lead. Next lap car will be Glubler once again. He's going to be going 4 laps down this time. Right alongside with Benjamin Peterson, see what he sees. David Malukas going to come down and check up that lane. Peterson in the high side on that outside line. But these Masters of Motors cars look to be in sync at the front. Marcus Armstrong hanging now on the inside. Dorian Pinn going to try to go around the outside to take the lead. Seeing that there's a lap car, does not want to be stuck behind it, as Marcus Armstrong and Benjamin Peterson will get trapped. And Dorian Pinn, David Malukas, Catherine Legg, and Yuki Tsunoda get away. These guys are now trying to catch up. Next lap car, Lindsey Brewer once again, who is 12 laps down. Alessio Deletta went back out. He is 19 laps down. Chet Jordan still in pit lane, so. As here comes Yuki Tsunoda, qualified at near the middle of the field. He's up 11 spots since the start. Not the biggest mover though. That's actually going to go to Brennan Hubbard, rookie driver, who is up 14 spots from 22nd to 8th. looking very strong right now. Marcus Armstrong has kind of caught up to the leaders, and now the top 5 have a bit of a breakaway. And once again, the 47 in the way, and it looks like Yuki Tsunoda and Catherine Legg will be the only 2 to get away well this time, and they're going to try a breakaway, but Dorian Pin just going to be too fast and going to catch back up. Already nearly a third of the way into this race. Yuki Tsunoda looks strong out in front. Eventide Racing started out midway through last season, now has a car leading the race. Yuki Tsunoda, a race winner in the Open Wheel Offline League. He won at the Red Bull Ring. But right now looking strong here at Texas. Catherine Legg all the way up top, as far up as she can go without getting into the marbles. Lights now shining down on these cars. Dorian Pin back to the front. It's going to be hard to see who's gotten the most laps led. Everyone's shown a lot of good pace. Best lap, I believe, best lap goes to Yuki Tsunoda with 21.5, so right now he's getting a bonus point for that. It's Marcus Armstrong back to second as there's a little bit of a wobble. I think I saw Benjamin Peterson all the way down on the white line. That's not where you want to be. Marcus Armstrong trying the high side, gonna try to carry the momentum, but Pin too fast on the inside. Armstrong may not have many people happy with him after this race, but his team is going to be happy as he's almost all the way up in the marbles. You do not want to be up there. Top 8 have broken away. Robbie about 4.5 seconds back, so what looked to be pretty good. He's going to probably need a yellow or just a good jump on the pit stops to get back into this. Catherine Legg just looks very strong. Masters of Motors, not unknown territory to win on the first race. Won the first ever Open Wheel Offline League race with Hunter McElroy in Season 1. But right now it seems like Catherine Legg, David Malukas going to have their work cut out for them, as Dorian Pin has looked very strong these last few laps, as we have a lot of lap cars that we are coming up on. Lindsey Brewer about to go down another lap. Oh, Pin's going to get stuck behind, and David Malukas is going to be the one to get by. Yuki Tsunoda now chasing. Benjamin Peterson breaks free, as these guys are all trapped, and they're losing a lot of time. I don't know why they aren't just going by now, but David Malukas, half a second lead. You may think that's a pretty big lead, but then these cars going to draft right back up to him as Brendan Hubbard goes into pit lane. 39 laps in, he's the first car to hit pit road. Going to possibly try the undercut. Hopefully that's a scheduled stop. As more lap cars in front, Mahavir Raghunathan, first car a lap down. Right now he'd get a lucky dog if the yellow flag comes out. Ryan Preece and Alessio Deletta all right here, and they are forming a wall. But David Malukas trying to ride alongside, as he has broken a second ahead of Tsunoda and Armstrong. As Benjamin Peterson has entered pit road as well. Brendan Hubbard still in his box. This is not good. Both these cars looking at long stops right now. Something may have gone horribly wrong for the two of them. Don't know what could have happened there. Maybe a mechanical issue, or maybe they caught damage that we did not see. The cars look fine. Try to see if we can look at this from a different angle. Anything on the suspension? Suspension looks fine, so as far as I'm aware, it may just be some kind of issue that they're having. That is going to be another Viking racing car that's going to fall behind, and that is going to be the third of the Banshees of Little Miami cars to fall into trouble. So they're both exiting pit lane now. That's pretty rough. Top 5 all together, but they are intermingled with lapped cars. So here comes another one, Glubler once again. Now 5 laps down. Mahavir Raghunathan still first car lap down. Would get the lucky dog if a yellow flag comes out. As David Malukas going to go back to the lead. Sun starting to really set. Marcus Armstrong, I don't think he's led a lap, but he's looked very strong up until now. In the Lindsay Brewering has happened again. It's struck. And he's the next victim. Shouldn't fall too far behind with the draft train of all these cars. You gotta be able to navigate the lap traffic on these ovals. There ain't no blue flags to save you. Oh, David Malukas all out of shape. Yuki Tsunoda nearly goes onto the apron to try to avoid him. But besides that opening lap crash, or not the opening lap crash, just a few laps into the race, a big crash took out completely 4 cars, but sent many laps down. Only 11 remain on the lead lap now, as Dorian Pin is in the wall. Yellow flag. I did the commentator's curse, and that is going to be our second yellow of the day. What happened here? She was behind the field. Oh, battling with Ethan Marks, who was a lap down, and I don't know if she just expected him to turn in more, but that is another Swindlers of the Immortals car in peril. Check the roll bar. Holding her line. I guess she expected Ethan Marks to come down more. I guess he wasn't obligated to, but maybe a courtesy thing, especially if you're a lap down. But that's going to be brutal. So we may see a lot of cars pit here. I don't know what the fuel situation quite is on these cars. Mahavir Raghunathan should get the wave around. He'll be 1 lap down. As yes, everyone coming in now. David Malukas going to be the first car in. Here he comes. Going to go all the way down because he started on the front row. See if anyone's going to be able to beat him out. Shane Van Gisbergen going to be back into this, supposedly. That is, if he's able to hold on to the draft. David Malukas, perfect stop. He's going to get out first. Yuki Tsunoda going to be second. Catherine Legg third of the cars on the lead lap. Armstrong fourth. Abel fifth. Rowe sixth. Van Gisbergen seventh. Barnhart eighth. Robbie ninth. And then Guy Gagne 10th. Last car on the lead lap. Brendan Hubbard going to try to get the wave around here so he can gain a lap back. Still not 100% sure what his issue was. That's going to be looked at after the race. But right now, Viking Racing, only 1 car on the lead lap. Although it's been pretty quiet for him, your biggest mover, Miles Rowe, up 15 spots in that blue and white number 12. 21st, 6th. Eventide Racing still got both cars in this. As Globler is directly in the way as these guys are trying to grid up. Once again, gonna be another double file restart. David Malukas gonna be on the inside with Yuki Tsunoda on the outside, and look at how these cars are now glistening under the lights. Here we go, about halfway into this thing. A little over halfway. David Malukas going to lead us back to green. Teammate Catherine Legg right behind. Very good acceleration. And Catherine Legg going to follow him through. Yuki Tsunoda gets a little left out to dry, back in third place. But Malukas cleared down the backstretch. Shane Van Gisbergen back into this thing. Up into P5, really the last hope of Swindlers of the Immortals on this opening race. As Catherine Legg gonna swing to the outside of her teammate. I don't know why it said we were under yellow. We are not under yellow anymore, clearly. As Shane Van Gisbergen now up into second. This is the best he's ran all day. I'm excited to see what he can do. Chasing down David Malukas. Finally got the draft on him. As Malukas still gonna hang on to the lead as Van Gisbergen goes out high. He's now gonna be able to tuck in behind. Oh, just a little bit of dirty air and pushes up the track. Already you can see on that track map the 47 of Lindsey Brewer off pace once again. And that is going to be a continuous problem for these drivers. She's trying to hang on to the inside of the track, but at a certain point, I don't know how much it's really worth it to still be out there. Because there's going to be a lot of drivers that want to throw hands with that 47 car. Which, yeah, if you're that many laps down, that's a little bit of a hazard. But David Malukas now battling Yuki Tsunoda on the inside. Tsunoda not able to carry speed off the corner all that well. But he's been there. He's been pestering Malukas and Catherine Legg these last few laps. And teammate Miles Rowe are up here. Right now it looks to be a battle between Masters of Motors and Eventide Racing. Eventide in their first full-time season. And they want to show off strong. Because technically they are last in points last season. But granted, there wasn't really much time to catch up. As here comes a 47. Oh, where is she planting herself? And that is going to be right in front of David Malukas. And that is a very awkward spot to go. And now going to be right in front of Shane Van Gisbergen, who once again may lose touch with the field as he gets stuck behind. Catherine Legg now right behind Benjamin Peterson, who's trying to get a lap back. As Robbie now actually up into the race lead. It's kind of hard to tell who's in the lead with all these lap cars, but that black, blue, and red, number 30, is your race leader as of now. Peterson really fighting hard to try to get back onto the lead lap. As David Malukas going to cut to the inside and try to get around him. Yellow flag, and it is the 95 of Ethan Martz. Karma for Dorian Pin. And was it the same thing? No, this was trying to cut to the inside of Ryan Preece. Oh, and that is a huge impact. Preece gonna be done. That has officially killed him. That was a huge impact for both of those cars. As let's try to see what they saw in slow motion and really see just all this chaos. So going down the backstretch, you can see Preece on the outside, and then Ethan Martz cutting down to the inside. And right here, boom, they come together. Oh, that is a nearly 90-degree impact to the wall. Ethan Martz going to have a lot of incident points after this race. And Ryan Preece, once again, in another incident, not how he wanted it to go. David Malukas, leader at the time of the yellow flag. We are under yellow flag conditions with about 1/3 left in this race. Your top 5 as it stands: David Malukas, followed by Robbie, Catherine Legg, Yuki Tsunoda, and P4. As Mahavir Raghunathan's actually going to be back on the lead lap, so you're going to have 11 lead lap cars as he gets the lucky dog. So Robbie, Catherine Legg, Yuki Tsunoda, Gale Barnhart, Miles Rowe back in 6th, Marcus Armstrong in 7th, Jacob Abel in 8th, 9th Shane Van Gisbergen, 10th Guy Gagne, and 11th Mahavir Raghunathan. Now back onto the lead lap after that first lap incident, finally back into this, but that lucky dog is the kind of stuff that rewards the drivers that just don't quit. So as much as we've been dogging on Lindsey Brewer and these lap cars, but specifically Lindsey Brewer, they've got reason to keep fighting. You're not going to see any pit stops now. Everyone is satisfied. I believe this should be our last one. Our last yellow flag with a double file restart, unless this is the first one single file, because this is the 3rd yellow, so this could be single file. And I believe it is. Yes, lights on the pace car are out. We're going to have our first single file restart of the race. So a couple teams having some pretty good days just because they've been able to keep at least 2 cars in this race. All you need is 2 cars. Those count towards the team standings, and right now, Masters of Motors 1 and 3, T-Megs 2 and 8 right now, even tied in 4th and 6th, Silly Men Racing in 5th and 7th. And then some of your other cars are kind of stranded. Skibbity Sigma Racing, Swindlers of the Immortals, and the 90 was all alone for Viking Racing. Let's try this again. We've got about 1/3 of the race remaining. Just a little bit more as David Malukas leads us back to green. These restarts now going to be a bit more staggered, and it's going to take more time for the cars to bunch up. Robbie about half a second back. Catherine Legg closing in on him faster than he's catching up to David Malukas. Miles Rowe getting passed by Marcus Armstrong. He got by Jacob Abel and Shane Van Gisbergen, so they're already packed up. Robbie is now catching David Malukas. Turn 1 and 2 can make it a little bit more difficult to follow, but for 3 and 4, this is where you can get a big draft unless you touch the white line and bobble up the track like he just did. But he's going to cut to the inside. Nearly gets hit by David Malukas. Catherine Legg going to follow on that way inside line, right by the white line. Malukas carries the speed off the corner. As we've got a second pack back here. But up front, only 4 cars have broke away. And I've seen 4 cars break away on the season opener before back at Phoenix. There was a lot of chaos. Ended up becoming a 4-car duel that eventually became a 3-car duel after Mahavir Raghunathan decided he had enough of Logan Sargent and punted it into the wall. The owner of Viking Racing, not too pleased with that maneuver, but is what it is. Race control does not care enough. Catherine Legg kinda struggling to hang on. The tires are starting to go just a little bit, but with the colder temperatures, it's not as bad. Track temp is the same, air temp is a little bit colder, as Yuki Tsunoda on the outside, big run. He has a lot of speed drafting these cars, and that's why he has the fastest lap. I don't know if it still holds. It looks like it's still holding. So Yuki Tsunoda has the fastest lap currently. And here comes the 47, or rather, here come the lead cars up on the 47. 3 wide, who's gonna be the one that gets stuck? Catherine Legg goes by, and it looks like it's gonna be David Malukas, maybe, but she actually gets out of the way this time. 17 laps down now. Her teammate, Alessio Deletta, may catch up and lap her. Clean track for the leaders, but that 47 could be back soon. Whenever she feels like it. And then you've got a little bit of a pack up here, Mahavir Raghunathan. He's on the lead lap, but still struggling for pace. Hanging on to this group. Catherine Legg, your leader. Teammate Catherine Legg now getting passed by David Malukas on the outside. Yuki Tsunoda and Robbie hanging out on the inside. Man, this 4-car battle, it's going to go to the end. They've got about 2.5 seconds clear on Miles Rowe, who's back in 5th. In his own little cluster, Guy Gagné hasn't really been able to keep up with the guys in that group. So he's sitting back in 10th. And then Mahavir Raghunathan really struggling to keep up. He may go back a lap down soon. About 1/4 of the race to go. A lot still to be decided. You've got 7 cars confirmed out of the race. I mean, you've got Chet Jordan down 35 laps. I don't know how much he's gonna have in it. He's only turned about 40 laps today. Still hanging in there. Every point matters. The last couple seasons have only come down to a handful of points. 3 wide. Robbie trying to squeeze it into the middle, but Yuki Tsunoda can carry the speed on the inside much better in the turn. And just like that, Catherine Legg goes back to 4th as Tsunoda now to the lead on the inside. But Malukas going to carry the speed off the banking. Whoa. Catherine Legg trying to look at the middle. Will get by Malukas, but that is a risky move. And this big breakaway that they have been closing it. It's been closed in by just a little bit. Shane Van Gisbergen now only back by 2 seconds. He's kind of broken away from his own group. But all it takes is 1 yellow flag, and that advantage is gone for these 4 drivers. And it could become a 9-car shootout. Really seems like there's only 9 that really have the pace to keep up. Guy Gagné struggling for a little bit of pace, currently battling with teammate Brendan Hubbard, who's down a few laps after some sort of issue. He's down in 13th. Not too bad. of a start for Viking Racing, but Connor Zilic, I don't think airtime is exactly what he wanted. And just like that, Shane Van Gisbergen has caught David Malukas. Malukas not far off the lead cars, so he may be into this. Shane Van Gisbergen has only one win on an oval, but it wasn't a super speedway. And the super speedways was his struggle in the season 1 championship. But he's into this. We've got a 5-car breakaway now, and he has caught up. He may actually have one of the best laps. Yes, he actually takes the best lap with a 21:38. So unfortunately, Yuki Tsunoda not going to get that extra point as of now. But they're starting to stretch out again. Gale Barnhart back by 2 seconds with Jacob Abel and Miles Rowe. Marcus Armstrong, for whatever reason, kind of got stuck behind. Dan Gisbergen has pace. Haven't talked much about him today, but he stayed out of issues. Navigated the drama. And runs P5. Yuki Tsunoda holding on to the inside. With Catherine Legg hanging on to the outside. I think that 07 is going to be a car to beat. But all these cars have looked strong today. I'd say the biggest underdogs are the 43 and the 30. But knowing Shane Van Gisbergen... Oh! Oh my gosh! Oh, what the... What just happened? Are you kidding me? Contact with David Malukas and hard into the wall, and then the spirits of iRacing turn him into a torpedo. What the heck is even that? I've never seen that before. I know we're talking about a new car, but I don't think this was a capability. Oh my god. Yeah, yellow flag immediately. Sure, I don't know what just happened, but we're gonna have about 10 laps to go at Texas. And Shane Van Gisbergen just got sent God knows where. What? What was that? I genuinely don't know what to say about that because I've never ever seen something like that happen. But that is going to be another DNF for Swindlers of the Immortals. I assume Shane Van Gisbergen not getting back out onto the track with whatever that was. At least he's going to have the fastest lap, but he also had a torpedo. I don't... Well, sometimes physics turns off. Benjamin Peterson going to get a lap back, still going to be 3 laps down. I don't think he's finishing on the lead lap. But Ragunathan stays on the lead lap, so we have 10 cars that are going to be on the lead lap. Van Gisbergen showing him on the lead lap, but maybe in the universe that he went to, the dimension that he just went to. The hell was even that? So 15 to go as of now. Going to be 14 to go this time by. I assume this may be when the pace lights on the pace car go off. As yes, we'll be going to green with 13 laps to go. Caution number 4, Shane Van Gisbergen goes to the Shadow Realm. In a low-key, high-key actually, horrific manner, but it's okay. These drivers are not alive. I don't think that's the word I should use. He didn't feel that pain. And it's not because he died instantly. 13 to go. Catherine Legg will be leading the field. Go to the blimp cam and see how long it takes for the field to catch up. Gonna have that big advantage with the single file restart. And launches well. Yuki Tsunoda reacts decently. Robbie got about the same jump. David Malukas got a pretty solid jump. Catherine Legg gonna be just ahead. Tsunoda closing in. And he's gonna try looking. Well, right now he's comfortable with just sitting behind, but now he's gonna dive to the inside in the turn. David Malukas gets around Robbie, so carrying more raw pace than he does. As the top four kind of breaking away again, Gail Barnhart did not keep up as well as the rest. And David Malukas now coming around the outside. And the top four that we were talking about earlier has linked up once again. Shane Van Gisbergen not able to catch up this time. Lucas. Now your leader with Catherine Legg on the outside. Masters of Motors setting up for a 1-2 to start the season. Catherine Legg way high, almost up in the marbles. You don't want to be up that high. But now Robbie kind of looking like the underdog of the four right now. Guy Gagné up to fifth, so maybe he is carrying some pace. But these guys not keeping up with the rest. Less than 10 to go now. Catherine Legg all the way up high. Masters of Motors really want to secure this 1-2. They're saying the green wave is happening this season, and we may be seeing it brewing already. Speaking of brewing, Lindsay Brewer, not far up the road. I think she's going to have one last say in this thing before it's over. David Malukas, your leader. You want to be the leader when it happens and have it, your outside and your inside clear, just in case. Likely that we get a photo finish or just a very close result. As here they come. Malukas gonna be clear. I think they're gonna get her right now actually, and everyone's gonna be able to get by besides Robbie and Catherine Legg. Actually seemed like Robbie got by, but then gets trapped, and Catherine Legg getting held up very badly here. And David Malukas and Yuki Tsunoda have appeared to have been set up for a battle to the end, but the more they race side by side, the more everyone's going to be able to catch up. Right now, 1.7 seconds clear over Robbie, who sits in third. Catherine Legg dropped back to fourth and gets caught by Marcus Armstrong's group. These two not running side by side is helping them get away, and they know that, but Tsunoda going to swap to the lead. They can swap draft, they can pull out an even bigger lead. It's just when they get stuck side by side racing next to each other. This may be another good swap draft. Yes, that is. So it's going to be between these two, and it's going to be who can get the right draft. And every indicator is pointing at this could be a photo finish. Going to take away your track map. You don't need it anymore. Just focus on these two. Lucas all the way down to the inside. As Yuki Tsunoda, he's going to get the draft. He's going to pull out right now. But who's going to have Basay coming on to the front stretch? It seems like it's going to be Malukas, but he's just not close enough through 3 and 4 to hang on. He's going to really need to try to hang on to this lead going down the backstretch and can't let Tsunoda into the draft because right now, that was pretty good. That was a very good line, exactly what Malukas needed to do because now it's going to be Tsunoda who's going to have to try to get off the line, but Malukas just sketchy enough to not let him by. Last lap, white flag, and it's going to be between the two of them. Will Tsunoda get a jump going down the backstretch? It's going to be close. He's going to look to the inside. Malukas has to hold on to the outside, but he's going to go all the way up the track, and that looks like that is going to leave the door open for Yuki Tsunoda, who's going to get his second career win and first win for Eventide Racing at Texas. The 27 of Yuki Tsunoda withstands the pressure that Masters of Motors put on the whole race and will come home in first, with David Malukas coming up second and Catherine Legg in third. So Masters of Motors get a double podium, but not in the way they would have liked. A brutal race with heavy attrition lends us Yuki Tsunoda's second win. As your unofficial results scrolling across the screen, I'm going to take a look at that margin in just a second. But man, was that what a season opener to remember. What a display. Let's take a look at your official results. Yuki Tsunoda started the grid in 13th. I believe he qualified one spot worse than that. Still a very good charge through the field. He actually qualified back in 14th, so yeah, that's about where he started. David Malukas was able to get onto the front row, but not able to convert. He is going to stay P2. Catherine Legg, 2.35 seconds back. She looked like she may have been the car to beat. But just with that lapped car, and you got to be able to navigate around that, she wasn't able to. Robbie looked like the underdog. He's going to finish in fourth. Miles Rowe, Tsunoda's teammate, going to come home in P5. Gail Barnhart, quiet, but a solid top 10 for the team. Jacob Abel will take P7. A lot of the rookies did well. Malukas second, Catherine Legg third, and Jacob Abel seventh. Marcus Armstrong going to be P8. Look to have some solid speed today. Happy for his pace just this whole weekend. Guy Gagne going to be the best of Viking Racing, going to finish 9th. And then Mahavir Raghunathan, last car on the top 10, will finish 10th, despite qualifying last. Was able to withstand the attrition. Benjamin Peterson will finish 11th after a mysterious issue for both him and Brennan Hubbard. That'll leave them 11th and 12th. Glubler, involved in that early incident, had a car land on top of him. He'll finish 13th. Van Gisbergen went God knows where. He's going to finish 14th. Lindsey Brewer 15th. Being the moving chicane, Alessio Deletta, despite coming onto the track a lot later than her, nearly beats her. I'm actually surprised that Lindsey Brewer got back out there in the first place, considering how much she flew. Chet Jordan, going to finish 18th, going to be the only one of his team to not score a top 10, as actually he finished 17th, pardon me. Ethan Martz was in a lot of incidents today. He'll come 18th. Pole sitter Ryan Priest, rough day. He'll finish 19th. Dorian Pinn, 20th. Teammate Louis Foster, 21st. Not the day Swindlers of the Immortals wanted after what looked to be very strong in testing. Just no result. Connor Zilich looked solid at the beginning, but didn't last long. He'll finish 22nd. Stingray Rob, 23rd. and then his debut race for the team, a brand new team. They'll finish last in their first outing with a 24th for Calamilot. So that is it from Texas. Hope you guys enjoyed. I thought that was a pretty good race. Up next, we're going to our first road course, and it's down under in Sandown, Australia. That one's going to be a fun one. I can't wait to see you guys then. Qualifying should be on Tuesday. Might be on Wednesday. You may see it tomorrow, actually. Just depending on how situations be. But I hope to see you guys then, regardless of when it is. And yeah, enjoy.